Hello and welcome to Slovak National Gallery, where we will be talking to you about Atlas digital guide. We are here because the digital guide is meant to be for the new building, which has opened almost exactly 1 year ago. And together with our great internal team at Digital Collections and Services, we developed this app. And Katarína is here today. My name is Michal Čudrnák, and I will be talking with her about the app.
Yeah, I work as a user experience researcher at this team.
So along with Katarína as a user researcher, with developers, with content editors and designers, we set out the aim to develop this app. But first we wanted to come to a certain set of objectives, which we discussed together with curators, educational staff, and marketing colleagues to lead us through creation of the digital layer of the new building. I'll mention a few of them. One of the most important is to not override the physical experience. Second is to reach a diverse group of people, younger, older, but also tourists. Then we wanted to expand the on-site visit for the post-visit, but also give access to the content which is not accessible on-site, such as related artworks. And importantly, also not to overload or unburden the cognitive overload of the visitors, not having to read too much on walls or listen to long explanations.
Yeah, and so after these internal objectives and setting the goals, we also conducted the user interviews with people talking about their experiences in museums and art museums as well. And they told us how they feel, what are their barriers, frustrations, joys, or just the good memories they came home with. And also during this discovery phase, we realized many things about the form and the content of the digital experience. So for example, they wanted short, simple texts, having control over the app, and some of them wanted to be guided, and some of them wanted to choose what they like and go on their own pace. And content-wise, we found out that what they lack in the art museums is most of the time the interpretation, because the guided tours aren't going on 24/7. So what they would like to know in such an app or such a digital experience is a micro interpretation, and also they are very curious about the author and artworks. Many things like why did he paint it like that, or how was his life like, and so on. And what is the most interesting and important, when the visitor falls in love with some artwork, he or she wants to see more from the author.
What did we do with all these insights that Katka has helped us to get from the visitors? We decided that we wanted to transition the interpretive wall labels into digital, into the web-based app we will be talking about, and also expand upon existing online collections which we maintain also in our lab.sng platform, and to be able to easily take the data from the online collection into the app. And also we wanted to allow the visitors to collect the items they see on the way and they read about. So with these main three objectives, we created a web-based app, or more like minimum viable product, that allowed us to test those objectives or hypotheses. We were doing the content, also the design testing in-house, so this allowed us to go quite fast in many iterations in the course of 2 years. And this app has 3 core features. The main one is the digital codes, which lets the visitor to enter the code they see next to the wall label or the description of the artwork, and then get artwork detail with texts and other features, which is, as mentioned, interpretive texts about the artworks, and also to collect those artworks as favorites.
Yeah, so we wanted to make it bigger from the inside the exhibition, and thanks to this digital experience, we didn't want to trap the visitors inside of the digital space, so we also wanted to bounce them back to the physical one. And as Michal mentioned, our goals and values and value propositions, we also wanted to validate it if it works for the visitors as well, what we thought about. So yeah, it worked and everything was good, and we also learned some new values. I can quote for you, and some of the visitors told us that the app is also a friend for them. For example, when I'm alone, it's like I have a conversation with somebody, or for someone, it was a teacher. I can read it first and tell my mom, or it's a sparkle for somebody. Quote, I can see a picture from a different perspective. So for somebody else, it was a platform where they can continue to learn more. And we also validated the use of the codes and the comprehension of them. So most of all people were asking, like, why didn't you use QR codes? Because that is like more common, but it was only a question. At the end, everybody was using the codes really easily, and they told us that it is fun and fresh. And on top of that, they also told us that it is more discreet and intimate, because you don't have to go too close to the artwork, scan the QR code, and you can do it really discreetly, and nobody, is knowing that you are putting in the code and reading and so on. Also, on top of it, we realized and observed that many people use our app as a "I'm feeling lucky" feature, because they put in random codes, and most of the time then get something back.
All of this was happening still at the old building, or older part of this whole building. The exhibition that Katka has mentioned enabled us to test it, but we needed to move further to the new, and with the new I mean really new, with complete reconstruction of the bridging you are seeing behind the glass. And this has been really sleeping longer than 20 years, and the opening showed the people the whole building, but also a pop-up exhibition prologue, which we used to test and validate again the findings we gained while testing the app in the old part of the building. And also there was preparations for the new permanent exhibitions, and this goes really well with the line of iterative development of Atlas. So iteratively new permanent exhibitions are opened, and iteratively we develop the app. This goes really well together. But next to the digital guide with codes, we ingested a new feature into the app, which is digital storytelling. So we developed a format of videos where artists, restorers, and other people working on the exhibition are explaining in short Instagram-like stories what is the meaning behind the artworks, or how did the restoration go. So this was another part of the app where the visitor could go on a trail, visit parts of this pop-up exhibition, and be guided by all of these persons in a format that was really an experiment. But did it work?
Yeah, we started big with the content so that we know what works and what isn't suitable for the on-site visit. And we realized that we had to cut already short videos into the bite sizes. And we also reduced the number of steps in the trails because we realized that people are getting tired after a while and it's a much different situation than to use the app from the desk or sitting on a sofa. Also, people struggled with wayfinding. This new building is much bigger than the older one, so it was really a challenge for us as well, not to get lost. And since the app is fully conversational, it is hard to describe to a person where to go when we are not pretty sure if he is on the place he should be. Because sometimes the person can wander around and go somewhere else. We used also photos in the conversation. It helped a little, but since this new building is in a progress with everything, it is also in progress with map creation, how to create a best usable map, and we are considering to incorporate a map for the app as well. What was also interesting during this phase, while discovering some new insights, was that people, when we asked people what is the most useful feature in the app, they told us that it is saving for later. But they didn't do it really when we observed them and used the analytical tools. So I asked a few, like, why didn't they save it for later? And they didn't know. So there was no reasons. They didn't even notice that they didn't. So we had a challenge how to deal with this issue in new features.
So after this second phase of testing of the Atlas digital guide, we naturally wanted to feed back these insights into the development. And one of the few things we changed was that the artworks are now saved automatically. The visitor doesn't have to push the favorite button to store it into the collection. He only has to visit it. Also, we added related artworks from the artist. We added artist profiles with a short bio, and we also integrated all these things from the online collection as mentioned, so we were able to show really high resolution images which we are storing in the online collections.
Yeah, what was the best for the visitors in this phase was to see the related artworks of the one author right away in the app. And also what was next for us was we were curious about how to engage younger people and also how to make the app more fun. So we brought together young people from the Meetup SNG course, and we held some discussions, workshops, brainstorming with them to know what they like about gaming, and also we were brainstorming about the gaming and playing in the art museum especially. So this is when we came up with the idea of the scavenger hunt, which is a feature which has a topic, every month a different topic. For example, organism, and few artworks are selected to be found. The visitors have only few instructions or on where is it, and a little thumbnail of the artwork, so they can really know like which one it is. During this, we realized that it is a new way for them to discover artworks in a new connections and think about them in a different way. So, and also, if they are lucky and catch them all, they can have a discount at the bookshop or have a coffee for free.
So what's in for the future? with development of our digital guide. As mentioned, the fact we have our internal team allows us to work on a larger time scale, and after 1.5 years we are redesigning the whole app and also making the front end anew. So on the level of design, we are making changes that reflect the corporate identity or the visual identity of Slovak National Gallery more. And we streamline some of the functionalities in terms of usability. So this part of codes where you enter the code and you receive the detail, and the part where the trail guides you through the building is split so that these two don't mix together, because we had, as seen in testing, a few issues, or the visitors had some issues. And this also is reflected in the development, and our colleagues in the development team of Atlas, they are making the front end in a new framework, and this goes really well in line with the redesign, because the new front end on the technological level is done really at the same time as the redesign is happening. So there is of course a few or quite some ideas in the backlog, such as a map to help the users navigate in the building, but that's quite a complex issue to deal with now, and we will be dealing with it later.
Yeah, and I want to tell you more about the whole visitor experience and non-digital usability as well. So we try to communicate the app on a different places. For example, at the ticket desk, we had flyers. We had flyers directly on the walls in the pilot exhibition. And also after that we tried the video. We had a big display in the first room of the exhibition. But we realized that those two places, the ticket desk and the first room of the exhibition, are the most stressful places during the visit, because people are overwhelmed with information, and also they are just soaking up the atmosphere. So they calm down a little bit after a few meters when they walk into the exhibition. And the visitors who didn't pick up the information about the codes previously, they didn't realize what the codes are for. So we came up with the idea to put a website address under each of the codes. And regarding physical codes, together with our graphic designer, we came up with the idea of how to flexibly manage the codes in comparison with printing and creating the QR codes. So we have something like this, which is very manageable. It is more ecological, it is more durable. And
it's easier to replace new codes instead of the old one.
Yeah, yeah. And they are connected, like they are really close to the label, but they are not a part of the label. So it's not necessary to change also the whole label.
So this way we are able to easily add new codes. We don't have to print the label again, and we just need to put a new circle with the code next to the label. So going to the final round of our talk, many of you probably ask, how does this work in terms of number of visitors and average time spent with the app? So we have a few numbers for you. And just last week, the gallery is open only from Thursday till Sunday, temporarily. We had 1,700 visitors, and out of these 1,700 we had 220 users of the app, which results in 13% of visitors using our app, ranging from really long 40 minutes that the people have been using the app, up to people who are just opening the app and closing it instantly. But on average it's 3 minutes and 20 seconds that people spend while using the app.
And we are also checking almost every month how the artworks perform, which are the most visited ones. And this is not interesting only for us, but also for curators as well. And another place from where we get feedback is a survey directly in the app, which is triggered after a few interactions. And over there, we have permanent questions about the usability and usefulness of the specific features. And almost every month, again, we change some questions. For example, right now, we are receiving insights on the text itself.
And how many stars are we now at? What is the number of people who
So,
voted 5 out of 5?
Yeah, so first question is like, how would you rate the app? And it is like 4.8 from the 5 stars.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So before we hand over to you to questions you might have, I wanted to mention that all this is made possible by the funding we got from EEA grants, which is Norway, Liechtenstein and Iceland, along with co-financing from the state budget of the Slovak Republic. And this funding was for making meaning of digital collections, where we collaborated with SKMU in Norway to create this app and other activities. So see you in a bit.
Thank you very much.